Hi, and welcome to Professor Black's History. Of course, we always come to you from the shadows until African American and Black history is taken out of the shadows and put more prominently into history textbooks. Now, March is Women's Month, so with that in mind, we've got 4 outstanding women to talk to you about this month. First up is a person many of you never have heard of. It's a lady named Toni Stone. Now, Toni Stone is a very interesting character. She just proves that no matter what the odds, no matter what people say, you can succeed at what it is you love to do. Now, Toni Stone is the first woman to play for a professional league team against men. And she was an outstanding baseball player. Her real name was Marcia Lyle Stone, but because she was such a tomboy when she was growing up, everybody called her Toni, and that's the name she took, and it kind of stuck. Now, here's a funny story about Toni Stone. When she was little, around 10 years old, she loved playing baseball. She was very good, and her parents didn't like her playing baseball because they felt like that was more for boys. Well, they decided to have a priest talk to her about stop playing baseball and do more things that girls should do. The priest talked to Toni for a while, but after he finished talking to her, he signed her up for his Catholic League team, which is like the Little League. Now, at age 15, she was a prodigy, and she started playing for a semi-pro team, and then she got a chance to move out to California, and when she moved out to California, she went to San Francisco, and she played for her first professional team was the San Francisco Sea Lions. And eventually, in 1953, she was given her big break by the Indianapolis Clowns. Now, the Indianapolis Clowns was a team kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters, but they were a very good baseball team, and they even won some championships. Toni was signed to play second base, which was actually the position that Hank Aaron played the year before on that team. Now, Toni played second base for the Clowns, and they even tried to get her to wear a skirt at one point for some kind of sex appeal or something, but she wouldn't go for that. Also, even though she played on the team and she was a very good ball player, the men treated her very badly. She experienced a lot of sexism during that time. So she not only had to go through racism growing up and living at that time, but she also had experienced a lot of sexism trying to play in a men's league. She held her own. She played second base and she did a very good job, even though they tried to spike her and she had some very bad injuries from time to time because of how they tried to treat her. She was not allowed to go into the locker rooms. She had to try to find a place to dress. So she had a really rough time of it, but she played that season for the Clowns, and during that season she had a pretty good batting average, 243, and she also got a hit off the great Satchel Paige, which a lot of those guys never got a hit off of Satchel Paige. So Toni was an outstanding ball player. Her contract was sold to the Kansas City Monarchs the very next year. She was still being treated very badly, and now she wasn't even getting a chance to play very much. So after that season, she retired, moved out to California, and became a nurse, and she retired from nursing. But she holds a lot of awards. She's in a lot of Hall of Fames now, and she's even in the Baseball Hall of Fame as far as being mentioned a couple of times in the Negro Baseball League and, of course, Women in Baseball. And there's also a field named after Toni in St. Paul, Minnesota, her hometown. And she died from a nursing home, but she was an outstanding person. And I wonder how many people that helped her at that nursing home even knew her story. You know, you ought to talk to some of the older people sometime, because you'll be amazed at some of the stories that are hidden in our culture and even in your family. Next time on Professor Black's History, we've got another great person to tell you about, so make sure you're here.